couple months have felt like nonstop everything, from my youth classes starting up to adult programs continuing and teaching a workshop and rehearsal starting and grant writing. These past couple months have just felt like work overload. So kind of knowing this was gonna be a crazy couple months, Rick and I planned a trip that's this week. We are going to New York City to work and have fun and just chill and hang out. I'm gonna meet with some different choreographers, have coffee, kind of just see what the New York scene is like. I'm gonna take a ton of class, which I feel like I haven't taken class in forever. So I'm really pumped to be back in the studio and dancing and hopefully get like some movement inspiration. And today I wanna use this vlog as kind of like a launching pad to help me like get ready and get in like the network zone. So what I did is I reached out to a bunch of the different social media platforms that I'm on, and I have a few people that asked me some questions because I'm going to be approaching these different choreographers and kind of getting their insight and idea at how they started things, how they run their company, and just kind of use them as a learning tool to see if I'm doing the right things and where I can do some things better with Kristin, Damrow and Company. The first question is from Helen. I know Helen kind of from way back when I first started teaching at Rocco. She was also teaching there at the same time. She's an awesome dancer and she is now a singer. She's part of Super Square Music, so check her out. I'll link her up there. So Helen kind of wanted an idea of what my filming process is like. Let me get my notebook. So this notebook has it all in it. When I kind of get an idea for a vlog, I start jotting down the different shots I want to take. If I'm going to rehearsal, what footage do I need? If I'm traveling into the city, what could be interesting? And what I'm really working on with these vlogs is trying to tell a story. So when you guys sit down and you press play for my vlog, I can keep you interested and intrigued for the next 5 minutes or so. So kind of keeping that story arc through I think really helps. I found as I'm recording, I just take on too much footage. So having like a clear kind of plot and what I need to record written down really keeps me on task, because when I sit down in front of iMovie where I edit all this stuff, I don't always have a ton of time between everything else I'm trying to do, and really to do one of these vlogs takes about 4 to 6 hours, and sometimes I only have an hour at a time. So bouncing in and out of like rehearsal mind and teaching mind and then back into vlogging is really challenging. So if I had a great chunk of time to just sit down and nail into these, then it's a lot easier to take on the editing. I found iMovie works great. It's a pretty simple platform. I do find some limitations with like sometimes the things I want to do, but I'm not doing too much crazy editing with this stuff. It's pretty much cut, paste, speed it up, slow it down sort of thing. Let me give you a look at my setup. So right now I have my camera. It's a Canon G7X. I have a GorillaPod, which is attached to just like a stepladder, some sort of light source. Right now, it's a night light with some parchment paper on it. So right now I just kind of make do with my setup. Over time I hope to get some lighting so it can kind of have much more of a professional feel. I looked back at my very first vlog and it's a little embarrassing. I've come a long way, I've learned a lot. So it's like the more you can just keep putting content out there, you know, you'll see the progress and you'll see how you change and grow. So Chelsea also had a question for me. I met Chelsea in teaching at ODC. She's a lovely dancer in person. She wants to know how, at what point did I know I started a company and why, and kind of what was my first steps into making that happen. I was always really in love with making up dances, whether it was in my room like rocking out to Aqua or the Spice Girls or something ridiculous. I was always making up dances. Whenever I could get in the studio at my local dance school, I would jump in there and make whatever I could. I also was a choreographer for my high school dance team, so I was always making stuff. And then when I decided that I wanted to go to college, I decided that was for dance. So I went to Columbia College in Chicago, which is an incredible school. I had so many great professors, and one of the courses there was called Choreographic Project, and it was really the first chance that I had a cast of dancers. I went into rehearsal at a specific time and we created this piece together that was really awesome at the time. I thought, looking back, I might have a different picture of it. The entire process of being in the studio and spending time outside of rehearsals to really craft and create the piece was just something I fell in love with. And When I decided I wanted to graduate, I talked to one of my mentors at school, Liz Burritt, and she danced out here in San Francisco for a really long time, and San Francisco was on my list of places to check out, and she told me to go, so I bought my ticket, and here I am now, almost 7 years later. And when I first moved out here, I didn't know anybody, so I just made friends, I networked, I went to auditions, I started, you know, finding other dancers that were also wanting to perform, so I kind of got a crew of dancers together, met some musicians, got some people who wanted to play for a dance show, and then I found a venue for my show. I met up with some of the directors of Subterranean Art House in Berkeley, which unfortunately they're no longer a thing, but it was a really awesome little art house that I got to produce my own show, and it was like my first year living here. So kind of after that happened, I changed the name of my company. It was Venture Dance Project. I found how important it was to have a business sense about the company and how my work was viewed, and how I just kind of put out everything needed to be very clear and very professional. So I decided to change it to Kristin Damrow Company. So I've shown work at festivals, and I've produced a couple of my own shows, and onward and upward, it just keeps going. It's a lot of work from the admin side, and it's also just an amazing creative process that I really enjoy doing. And so we'll see kind of what the next couple years bring of all that. You know, these are all just my insights to these different questions. I feel like I'm learning so much along the way, and I hope that everybody watching can kind of get something from this. If you have any questions that pop up watching these, comment below. It's really useful for me, so I can kind of give you all something watching as well, because I think this is a big learning process for me, and I want you all to get something out of it too, rather than just watching me run around, play with my dog, and do different things. So Rick and I are gonna be in New York next week. I'm gonna meet a bunch of hopefully really cool people, and I'm gonna dance a ton. I'm getting a new tattoo. So excited. So subscribe to these. If you like watching them, I like knowing you're watching them. So subscribe. I think it might be down there. So subscribe below. It means a lot to me. And my next week's vlog will be in New York, so it'll be pretty good.